Hey, what's up, everybody? Amish Country Mets fan here, and I just want to talk a little bit about the kids. The kids, and by the kids, I mean our prospects, our big prospects. So obviously Alvarez, he's the number one guy. In some lists, he's been the number one guy in all of baseball. Um, dating back to last year. Then we got Brett Beatty. He's been as far as high as like number 18 on the top 100 prospect list. Then we got Ronnie Mauricio and Mark Vientos. Those four guys, I think, personally, I think are crucial to our success this season. They haven't been given a shot yet, and that's what I'm here to talk about. So, first off, I'm gonna start. Some might be this is negative, but I'm not trying to be negative. I just want to temper expectations a little bit because I've heard some comparisons to like the 2016 Cubs when it comes to these Mets kids. And I don't think people realize just when it comes to that Cubs roster how highly regarded those young guys were, and the fact that they had already been in the league before that season. Anthony Rizzo started playing regularly in 2013. Chris Bryant played a whole year in 2015. Javi Baez played some in 2014 and 2015. Schwarber debuted and played 69 games in 2015. He didn't even play for that Cubs World Series team until the World Series because he got injured like a game or two into the season. So they put him on the roster in the World Series, and obviously he had some big at-bats for them. But I don't think people realize, like, those kids weren't just thrown into that and they went to the World Series. Like, they had some time this season and get some experience, and our guys don't have that yet. I think our guys do need to get that, and that's my point that I'm going to get to. It's so yeah, that's not we're not at that level. Can they be? I hope so. Mauricio and Vientos have never been, and you can argue about prospect rankings and whatnot. I think it's a decent barometer. Obviously, it's not an end-all, be-all. You can be a highly regarded prospect and flame out. You can not be a highly regarded prospect at all and be a star. Like, that's not what this is about. But like I said, it's a good barometer. And Mauricio and Vientos has never been on a top 100 prospect list. Mauricio was up to number 67 in 2021. He was a Mets number one prospect back in 2020, but he's fell off. He's not even on the top 100 prospect list right now. Maybe mid-season rankings, he keeps up doing what he's doing, he'll get back up there. But yeah, he's not on the list. He's down to like 6th or 7th on the Mets prospect list. So he's fell off a bit in terms of what people expect from him. That said, right now he is in AAA absolutely raking. He's hitting 353, 405 on base percentage, which is big for him. Huge improvement, and a 735 slugging percentage. Then you got Vientos. He's at 357, 455 OBP, and 607 slugging. His slugging's a little down, but overall, those are pretty solid numbers. And of course, Beatty. Beatty was a little hurt, banged up, whatnot. He just came back yesterday. He's at 333, 455 OBP, and 722 slugging. So, I say all this to get to the point that these kids need the opportunity to prove themselves. And I'm sorry, but them being at AAA, I don't think is it. I think, granted, if our regulars were doing decent, then sure, keep the kids in the minors. But you got Escobar, who's doing nothing. You've got Tommy Pham, who's meh. Canna, he should be a 4-5 outfielder. I'm not saying get him off the team. He's actually looked pretty decent. But these guys, you don't have guys on the major league roster right now that are hitting to the point where you can just say, forget the kids. I think we need to take a look at what other teams, and I hate to compare us to the Braves, but the Braves, last year, they gave so many kids an opportunity, and they ran with it. And why can't we do that? If they struggle, fine, send them back to AAA. It's not like we have to keep them up here. If you bring them up here and you give them a shot to play and they're not doing well, hey, send them right back. You gonna argue with me that that's a knock on their confidence? I mean, I don't think their mental status is that fragile. I could make the opposite argument and say that leaving them in the minors is um, messing with their confidence. Like, granted, Vientos for sure, because Vientos, while he's not as highly regarded as the other guys, he's been in AAA now. He played, I think, AAA all year last year. He smashed in spring. Like, what more does he have to do in AAA to get at least a chance? It's not like we have a right-handed hitting DH on the roster that's killing it. We don't. So why can't he get the opportunity? Vientos, okay, I can argue. He just got to AAA this year. If you want to leave him down there for a little longer, I could kind of see that. Beatty's another guy. He came up last year. He got a cup of coffee. He got hurt. Escobar has been horrible. You can't tell me Beatty doesn't deserve a shot to prove himself. So that's where I'm at with the kids. I'm not saying, oh, screw all the vets. But if they're not producing, why not give the kids a chance? What are we doing? Other teams have shown that sometimes these kids come up and they take off and they light a fire under a team. And yeah, listen, it is early. There's no reason to panic. But I just don't understand the thought process between just letting these guys be in AAA and not giving them a chance to see what they got. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I'm willing to give it a little more time, but a month I don't know. If by June you don't call at least Beatty up, then what are we doing? That's assuming health, obviously. So let's get to Alvarez, who did get the call up because of injury, which is great. But if he got called up to primarily sit on the bench, it's a huge mistake. You need to get this guy reps. He's got to catch. Let him DH some. Let him get at bats. If that wasn't the case, then just bring up Perez. You can create a 40-man roster spot. And if you can't, then that's ridiculous and you're a horrible GM. Like, figure it out. But don't waste our top prospect on the bench in the majors. I'm sorry, just don't. It's not like if Nito was like some all-star, then sure, you're not going to start Alvarez over him. But he's not. Nito's a fine backup catcher. He's a great, pretty good, not great, close to great. He's a very good defensive catcher. But you can't call up your number one prospect to sit on the bench. It doesn't make sense. It just won't make sense. I don't know. You can argue with me all you want. That my biggest frustration with Buck. People are gonna argue, oh, he won one. I know they won 100 in games last year. I'm not saying Buck is a bad in-game manager. The dude knows what he's doing. He's a very smart guy. And the guys love playing for him. I know that. That's not an argument. But we are not going to get to that next level if Buck isn't willing to give a little and not be so stubborn and show the kids some love. It's just... Sorry, I got bugs attacking me. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be his same old history repeating itself. He goes to teams and they get like right there, but they never get over the hump, and the next guy comes in, and hopefully in our case the next guy comes in and they actually do win. I mean, it happened with the Yankees, it happened with the Diamondbacks, not so much with the Orioles and the Rangers, but he's proven he's a very good manager. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not saying he needs to be fired, but he needs to figure out that you can't always cater to the veterans. You've got to give the young kids an opportunity to prove themselves. So that's where I'm at. That's my video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. And yeah, let's go Mets.